Hi, I'm Renee Sweers, and I work for Iowa State University Extension as a Nutrition and Wellness Program Specialist. And with the holidays right around the corner, today we are going to talk about some food safety tips for preparing the holiday turkey. And in specific, we're going to start by talking about thawing that turkey correctly. So if your turkey's frozen, you need to, think about how are you going to get this thawed. And of course, the best way to thaw it, the safest way to thaw it, is in your refrigerator at 40 degrees or below. Now that's going to take some time. The experts tell us that you should plan for about 24 hours per 4 to 5 pounds of turkey. So if you have a 20-pound turkey, that could take up to 5 days. But let's go ahead and pull it out of the freezer. Alrighty, so here is my frozen turkey, and I have a 12-pound frozen turkey, and so I need to kind of think about what am I going to put this on to thaw this. I need something that's going to collect any of the juices that might leak out as this turkey thaws. And so I have a couple pans here, but this one I think will fit because this is not a very big turkey, and I've got a lot of space in this pan to collect any juices as they thaw. Now, how much time is this going to take? So they figure about 24 hours for every 4 to 5 pounds. So it might take about 3 days for me to thaw this turkey in the refrigerator. Okay, now let's talk about where we're going to put this in the refrigerator. So I really don't want to put this on the top shelf of the refrigerator because if by chance any of the meat juices would get jiggled out of the pan, I don't want them to cross-contaminate everything else in the fridge. So when you are thawing in the refrigerator, when you're thawing meat, the best thing to do is put it on the lowest shelf possible, all right? So we'll just slide that in there, and we'll check it again in about 3 days. Okay, so thawing it in the refrigerator, that is really the gold standard. That's the very best way, food safety-wise, to thaw your turkey. But what if you don't have time, or what if you don't feel like you have refrigerator space? So let's look at another option. This is still our completely frozen turkey, all right? And so we're going to demonstrate thawing this in water. And again, we need to think about timing-wise, what do we need to plan for? So the experts tell us that we should plan for about 30 minutes per pound. So for a 12-pound turkey, it could take up to about 6 hours to thaw this in water. So let's kind of review the steps that we would need to do in order to safely thaw your turkey in a sink full of water. So one aspect that we want to think about is making sure that everything is clean before we go ahead with this more or less water bath type of thawing. And so I have already scoured my sink and cleaned it. I've already washed my hands, and so now I can address the turkey. And this is a completely frozen turkey, right? Okay, so I have a 2-gallon Ziploc bag that I'm going to drop this turkey into. And I do realize if you have a very large turkey, you're probably not going to be able to do this, and you're probably just going to have to keep it in the packaging that it came in. But I like to do this because then I can be sure that my turkey is not going to just be sitting in water. Like that. And we will go ahead. Now, what about the water temperature? In our minds, we might be thinking, well, if I'm thawing it in water, I should use hot water. But again, food safety-wise, that's not what we would recommend. So I'm going to go ahead and put my turkey down in a sink. And then I want the water to be about room temperature, or of course it could be a little bit cooler than that as well. But I like to shoot for water that's about room temperature, so about 70 degrees. You could temp it if you wanted to. I probably won't do that. And then I'm just going to let this run so that my turkey is completely submerged in this 70-degree water. Okay, so you can see that in my sink here, my turkey is not fully submerged, and that's okay. Actually, for food safety, they recommend that every 30 minutes we change this water. And so every 30 minutes, I can drain this water out, I can flip the turkey, and fill the sink again with, again, about 70 degree or room temperature water. So why are they making that recommendation? They don't want bacteria that might accidentally leak out from this packaging to be in this water as we're thawing the bird. Okay, so this is a turkey that we've actually been thawing for a few days in the fridge. So we decided we would just check to see, is this turkey fully thawed? One thing that you want to be careful of as you are handling the raw turkey is you want to be careful that you're not splashing the juices from this turkey all over the kitchen. And that would be another source of cross-contamination. You can see I've got a lot of turkey juices rolling out of this turkey right now. So we've definitely had some thawing going on. Lots of juices here. Okay, so it seems to be at least somewhat thawed. I'm wondering though, is it thawed enough for me to remove the giblets? And I can feel ice crystals in there. So, you know, you never know when you're thawing it in your cooler. You never know exactly what your refrigerator temperature is going to be. You hope that when you use the recommended amount of time, it will fully thaw. But what if it doesn't? I've got just a few ice crystals in here. It's not actually 100% fully thawed. So what should I do? Do I need to panic? No, there's actually a solution here. When we talked to you earlier about how to thaw in the sink, when you thaw a frozen turkey in a sink of water, once it's fully thawed, you should take it right to cooking. But in this case, we've basically done the majority of the thawing in the refrigerator. Now we could kind of do just some last minute thawing of this turkey in the sink. So we would follow the same steps. Even though I have this turkey already unwrapped, I would again, if I have a big enough bag, pop it in a gallon freezer bag, 2-gallon freezer bag that I can seal off, put it in the sink, same room temperature or 70 degree water or less, and same instance of basically, you know, changing that water every 30 minutes. Now, if it's a bigger turkey, you don't have a bag that you can seal that up in, you've already unwrapped it, then you will just put it in your clean sink and just run the room temperature water over it and change that water every 30 minutes. You're not probably going to have it in there all that long, so I don't think absorption of water will be that big of an issue for the turkey. Then once you have it thawed, maybe it will take an hour, maybe it will take an hour and a half, then of course you can just go ahead and pop it in the oven. Okay, so we have our turkey fully and safely thawed. Now it's time to prepare it. You can use any of your favorite family recipes for preparing your turkey. I guess the biggest word of caution or recommendation that I would have as a food safety specialist is keep things clean. After you've thawed it in the sink, scour your sink. As I mentioned, protect your kitchen from juices flying around. Be sure you're frequently washing your hands, especially after handling any of the raw meats. So enjoy your turkey, and don't forget, in whatever way you prepare it, always cook it to at least 165 degrees Fahrenheit.